Hey, it's Chris Chico here, and I have a very important question for you. And the question is, are you really willing to do whatever it takes to have your business be successful, to be a successful real estate investor? Or are you just really talking a big game, but when it comes down to it, when the rubber meets the road, you're just not cutting it? So a couple weeks ago, I had a coaching call, and on this coaching call, the client was not very happy. So why were they not happy? Well, they were not happy because they hadn't done any deals. And they have spent some money on marketing, but they're just not seeing things happen. And so, in their opinion, they thought that the leads were weak.
The leads are weak.
No good. I said, really? You called all these leads? He says, yeah. So I log into his CRM right there on the spot, and I see all these leads that look like they haven't been touched. They're bold, which means you haven't clicked on the lead. And so I asked him, I said, I don't understand. If you called everyone, why are these leads bold? There's hundreds of them that are bold. He says, I don't know what you're looking at. And all I can tell you is that I called everyone. And I said, walk me through this. You've got some really crazy ass system here that you're following, where you take every lead and you click on it, you call them up, and then if you ever call them up again, then what you're going to do is you're going to come back out of the lead, mark it as unread, and then you're going to come back to it another day. I said, if you're doing that, that is crazy ass shit.
Get that card out of my face!
First of all, I didn't teach you to do that. Secondly, it makes no sense whatsoever. So then he comes back and he says, well, he changes, right? I called all the leads, Chico, I've called most of the leads. So I said to him, I said, you can't tell me that the leads are bad if you haven't called all the leads. If you called some of the leads, but if you haven't called all of them, you have no right to say that. And so he says, his argument is, well, why am I going to call the rest of the leads if the ones that are called are bad? I mean, they're just going to be bad anyway. We get into this heated discussion. And I say to him, but you're not listening, Karam. The difference is that we make calls. We call these people first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time. We call every single lead that comes in. If you were working for me and you were an acquisitions person working for me, you would not be working for me too much longer. When I look at our Freedom Soft and I look at the amount of time, energy, and effort that we put into those leads, that we send out the same postcards that you're sending out, there's nothing different. The same list that I gave you is the same list we're sending here. And I look at how our Freedom Soft looks in terms of the amount of time and effort that we put into those leads. Yours doesn't even come close. You have a lot of leads in there that are untouched. And I understand that calling those people back, it's laborious. It's not the most fun thing you could do. However, for you to say that, hey, these leads are no good. I've talked to all the sellers. I've talked to most of them. You could tell me, you could say all you want, but I'm looking at your Freedom Soft, and that's not what I see. Now, on this call was also Marcia, my right hand in the South Florida market, and she was pretty animated. She didn't like what she was hearing, and she gave him an earful.
That's the whole nature of this business. Is those leads are gold, regardless of whether they're pissed off or not pissed off. You have 270 or however many leads in prime markets in this country, and I've been in a lot of different markets years ago. You have 270 leads you're sitting on, and all you're doing is complaining. And I'm not trying to be flippant or anything with you, but all you're doing is complaining. You need to take all the effort that you're putting into the complaining and put it into the phone calls. And just even if they're pissed, so what? You next it. You go on to the next one. You're going to get to the ones where it's like the deals where you're making $10, $15, $50, $60,000. But you can't get there if in your mindset you are just saying everything is shit. You can't just call somebody one time. This is not magic. It's work.
So the message that I want to get across to you is that at the end of the day, you really have to be really, really crystal clear about what the requirements are for your real estate business to be a success. Yes, getting the mailing list, getting the CRM set up, getting the phone system set up, doing all that is necessary. It's the thing that really drives the business. Where the rubber meets the road is really when you get on the phone with buyers and sellers. And in the beginning, as you're starting out, and if it's just you, there is a lot of that, and that is the most essential part of the business. That's the business that you have to do and you have to continually get better at, and there's no way to get around it. And yes, sometimes it may not be the most enjoyable work. Sometimes you just don't feel like doing it. And eventually, when you get to the point where you are doing multiple deals and you now have the ability, the financial ability to be able to fund someone else helping you in your business to do some of this stuff for you, until that time comes, it's going to be you, only you, and you really just have to own up to the fact that this is the requirement of the business. Don't fool yourself into thinking that you're working the business and you're doing everything you can when in fact you're not, if you're not doing the essentials and those things that the business requires for you to do. So I want to encourage you to go ahead, and if you are on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and click on the thumbs up to share the fact that you like this video. And if you're on Facebook watching this, then go ahead and click on the like button. Go ahead and share the video. Make sure that you are subscribed to my fan page, and I've got a lot more coming just like this.